Alright, my YouTube peeps, I have a battle here against a fellow YouTuber and a person that I fought a handful of times in Gen 5. I am talking about GoddessMaria, who is an excellent YouTuber, and make sure you check her out at the conclusion of this video if you haven't seen her videos already. Regardless, we're going to go ahead and get right down into it against GoddessMaria. This is a standard match, and she is going to lead with a Galvantula, which is a lead I've seen quite a lot of recently, to be honest, and I lead with Charizard, which obviously I do not want to stay in because of the possibility that this thing can use Thunder, so I do go out into my Garchomp, and she does go for that, so it's a good thing I did that. I'm just going to go for the Earthquake. This is actually a Choice Scarf Garchomp, so I just want to go for that as she decides to set up the Sticky Web, which is a really annoying entry hazard that I actually don't have any way to get rid of, so it's going to be a major inconvenience for me this game. She's now going to go out into the Landorus. It does get the Intimidate, not that it really matters because I can't actually do anything to it anyway. I have to switch out, being that I am locked into my Earthquake, so I go out into Starmie. I don't even know why, because it could have U-turned or it could have done this and knocked me off. And that does kill me, so that was a rather poor switch. And I just lose Starmie right now, and that's just really not good. Actually, Starmie was the only way I had to Rapid Spin away, so I did have a way to get rid of those. But it did just die to the knockoff, so now I have no way to get rid of this Sticky Web. So I go into my Charizard, and I am actually bringing Charizard Y this time. Normally I prefer Charizard X, but Charizard Y has its own unique skill set, and it's a little more true to Charizard's original design in an all-out special attacker kind of way. So I end up going for the Fire Blast after getting the Droughty. She does have Tentacruel and switches it in, which isn't going to take that much. I do have Solar Beam, which I know isn't super effective against Tentacruel, but it is neutral. And as you can see, it does look to be maybe a kill at this point. Looking at how much damage that Skull does, keep in mind it is actually reduced in power due to the Sun. Another advantage to having Drought on Mega Charizard Y. And, yeah, I'm just going to go for that Solar Beam, and it does end up killing it, which is amazing. And, actually, that Scald was a crit, so you can imagine how much damage it would have done normally. I could have taken them for days. Kind of sad a crit now, but whatever. He goes back into Galvantula, and I obviously do not want to take a Thunder again still, so I go back into Garchomp, and thankfully, she just tries to go for Thunder again, so that works out for me. And, yeah, I'm just going to go for the Fire Fang now, and at this point, she should realize 100% that I am a Choice Scarf Garchomp, being that I just outsped Galvantula, which is not something normally Garchomps can do unless she's modest. So I don't know. Wait, even if it's modest, I'm not even sure if it can. Regardless, she goes out in... I'm gonna do that a lot, aren't I? She goes out into Gallade, which is a very scary Pokemon, and I do not want to give this thing an opportunity to set up a Swords Dance or something. It's obviously going to Mega Evolve, so, yeah, it just does that as I go into Clefable, hoping that she'd go for the Fighting move. And she actually just goes for the Ice Punch, so she does have that, although I wasn't really going to stay in, and I don't think anyone really would, being locked into Fire Fang. But whatever, I go out to my Clefable, which takes that pretty nicely, Rhoda, so they would have taken a Fighting move just as good. And she goes out into Clefairy, which is an interesting choice, to say the least. I've not personally seen anyone use Eviolite Clefairy before, but, you know, why not? Unfortunately, this is going to be a case of domestic violence, as you can see. Mother going up against daughter here. I just go for the Moonblast, and I end up getting the special attack drop from it, which is actually pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and set up Stealth Rocks, as she decides to go for the Wish, so it's a Cleric Clefairy, which is interesting to say the least. As I said, I've never seen anyone try it. Clefairy stats are pretty low, but with Eviolite, anything can be viable, I guess. So I go back into Charizard. I'm afraid that this thing might actually set up Stealth Rocks against me, but it does not. It just goes for the Moonblast, so it seems to be just a normal Cleric without Stealth Rocks, which... it's fine by me, I suppose. I just take that Moonblast, and I take that pretty nicely. So, she's actually going to play this pretty nicely. She knows that I only have a maximum of 8 PP on my Fire Blast due to it being a 5 PP move, and it actually is going to go ahead and pretend, trying to stall out my Fire Blast. And as you can see, it lives a drought-boosted Fire Blast from Mega Charizard Y, so that's pretty impressive in itself. Just goes for the Protect again, and, yeah, I just actually go for the Solar Beam this turn, trying to conserve PP with Fire Blast, and either way it doesn't do damage as she gets her HP back, although if I can just connect with a Fire Blast I would have killed it! It misses, which, you know, using Fire Blast you have to expect to miss every now and then, and as you can see, she played that Clefairy very well, and now my Drought is gone. I no longer have the Sun, so I don't really feel safe switching in, or staying in, so I go out into my Scizor now. Because obviously a Choice Band Bullet Punch ought to do decent damage to this Clefairy. And as you can see, it doesn't really do anything due to my resistance, not to mention the special attack boost still on this Clefairy. So I go for the Bullet Punch, and this thing lives a choice-banded Bullet Punch from a Scissor. I guess, Clefairy, I guess. She just goes for a Fire Blast, and I live it, thankfully. In fact, it's a good thing that she got the special attack drop earlier. It might have actually killed me without that special attack drop, so just really fortunate I got that off my Moon Blast earlier. So she's going to go out into her Landorus now, which does get the Intimidate, but due to the fact this is not a bulky Landorus by the looks of it, that Bullet Punch still does a lot. In fact, it would have 2-hit KO'd if she decided to stay in, and she's going to go back into Clefairy, I guess, as Death Fodder, which I do take it out, which is pretty nice. Now, here she makes a bit of a misplay. I'm not really sure what her intent was going out into Frostlash. She could have went in, if she really wanted to Death Fodder this Frostlash for Cursed Body, she could have done that instead of Clefairy. Maybe she was hoping that she could live a Bullet Punch after an Intimidate, but that is just not the case. Frostlash is not a very bulky Pokemon, so yeah, it's going to be taken down to my Bullet Punch, which is super effective. But she does get the Cursed Body, as I said, which disables Bullet Punch, forcing me to switch it out. Since I am Choice Banded, I have to switch out or I'm going to struggle. So I do switch out into Clefable against this Gallade again. Still worried that she's going to try to set up with it. I'm not sure if it has, Swords Dance or not. Either way, she just ends up going for the Shadow Sneak. I'm not really sure why, actually, being that I was pretty much forced to switch out unless she didn't know I was Choice Banded. I don't know. Either way, she does switch it up now to go for the Psycho Cut, hoping that she can 2-hit KO me at this point. I just get my Moon Blast off. It is super effective, but doesn't quite take out Mega Gallade. And she is going to be able to get the 2-hit KO with her Psycho Cut now. But I still have 2 of my Pokemon left that do have, plus priority moves. Both my Scizor and my Dragonite. I decided to bring Dragonite in and just go for the Extreme Speed to kill it off. She ended up going to try to go out into Landorus here to get the Intimidate, hoping that that will make the difference in my ability to kill it. I am going to kill, obviously, Landorus now with Extreme Speed. Unfortunately, it's not going to, and that is her last 2 Pokemon. So, yeah, I am going to be able to actually kill this thing still with Extreme Speed. Now that it gets another little round, little tiny chunk of, Stealth Rock damage, and yeah, I am going to be able to finish this thing off with Extreme Speed, but still, good game there, GoddessMaria. Thank you for the match, and let's go ahead into today's question of the day. Now, I've always kind of found it kind of strange that actually 2 Pokemon, I believe, have multiple Mega Evolutions. That would be Mewtwo and Charizard. Now, obviously, I would actually rather to see, every fully evolved Pokemon get a Mega Evolution before, another Pokemon gets a second Mega Evolution. But today's question today is this. What Pokemon with already a Mega Evolution do you think could benefit from an additional or second Mega Evolution? Now, there can be very, strategic advantages to having 2 Mega Evolutions. A lot of players won't know which one it is, obviously, especially when you're talking about 2 good ones, like Charizard has 2 good Mega Evolutions. But what Pokemon do you think would be benefit? And I'm just going to go back from my previous session today, a couple of days ago. I'm going to say Gyarados. Gyarados needs a Water Dragon Mega Evolution. Now, I'm still thinking, I'd still rather, have a Pokemon without a Mega Evolution get one first. But I would not be salty if Gyarados gets a second Mega Evolution in Sun and Moon. So leave a comment about that, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.